Coach Ra here. Today, we're going to be looking at a true novice bikini class, which means very first time on stage bikini competitors. We're going to look at top 5 in this true novice class. This class also contains the overall winner and also one of my clients. So I'm going to be able to give you a very in-depth insight into what it really takes right now to win on a bikini stage, true novice, overall, any of it. Right now, 2025 going into 2026, what you want to know. Let's get down to it. So keep in mind, as I just said a couple times, but I know a lot of people still get confused on true novice, novice, open, all this. This is true novice, which is very first time bikini competitors, and that is it, okay? You cannot do this class beyond your first competition. So here we have Maddie. This is my client here. She won this class. She won another. She won her novice class, and then she won the open, and then she went to win the overall as well. We're going to talk all about that. Bethany over here in second, and then third over here we have Chia. And again, if I mess up the names, I'm so sorry for that all the time. It comes up. People actually message me sometimes and say, hey, here's how you say it. I appreciate it if you do that, okay? So there's our top 3 in this group. And keep in mind, all first-time competitors all are going to exemplify a very good, what we call the iconic bikini shape, this hourglass shape, that all of you, if you want to be a bikini competitor, are going to want to attain. Now, that shape does not come from dieting. It does not come from cardio. It comes from building muscle and building shape and size, right? So if we look at Maddie here, we can see good overall fullness to the shoulders, right? This has been something we were working on to really try to bring out that fullness, bring out that shape, make sure that her biceps and her triceps were not detracting, not taking too much over. And that creates that width, right? That creates that upper base of the hourglass shape. The upside down triangle is what you're really aiming for in bikini. The next piece of that is going to be the narrow waist effect, right? So we did a lot of work to draw in the waist here, bring out the shoulders some more, and really just bring a perfected look just like that. And she nailed it. She really, hit everything. I mean, all the programming, everything, she was executing like a boss, and it shows on stage, right? Lower body-wise, what the judges always want to see in this division is going to be some fullness, some shape, some density to the glutes, okay? Density to the quads and hamstrings, but all in symmetry with what's going on up top. So Maddie here, we can see definitely good overall glute shape. Her upper glute was filled out. I'm always talking about that on this channel as a key marker for judges to look at. And, her quads and her hamstrings are in really good balance and symmetry there. Over time with her, I'm still coaching her. We're still working together. We got big goals, big plans for what we want to do next season. I'm going to continue with her to exemplify the look. So, add a little bit more glutes, keep that upper glute full, really continue to add just a little bit more muscle to the quads and to the hamstrings. And honestly, her biggest focus we're going to be working on is bringing the shoulders up just a little bit more, adding more fullness, more density, roundness and shape, and keeping the midsection tight, okay? Keep in mind, first-time competitor here goes and wins the overall. All of the athletes in here, also first-time competitors, okay? So we look over here now at Bethany. So what we can see on Bethany is good overall shape to the shoulders, good tapering at the midsection, good balance down here. She's a little bit more quad dominant, I do think, right? Her glutes are not as pronounced. They're not showcasing as full. She's still got a good overall upper glute shape, but the glute density there is not on the same level as it is for Maddie over here, right? And those are the differentials we're really seeing in bikini division right now. Bikini is really focusing on fullness, shapes, muscle, right? Like we saw that with Maureen's win at Olympia. That is what's being favored, and that's what's moving forward. Bethany, she's got a great overall look, maybe a little bit quad heavy there. It just gives me a little bit more of that quad look. And, the shoulders need some more fullness, some more roundness, right? Overall, though, pretty good condition, pretty good shape, very classic for what you're going to see in True Novice. So if you are getting ready for your True Novice class, keep in mind, this is the types of stuff you're going to run into. A lot of competitors will do True Novice because it's the only time you can literally do it is at the first event, right? So generally pretty big classes. Now we look over here at Chia, right? So for her, we got good overall shoulder shape. We got a good tapering at the midsection, good balance in the lower body. Biggest thing that stands out to me on her physique here is a little bit less muscle overall, right? So not necessarily as much coming from the shoulders. Not as much coming from the glutes. Upper glute looks a little bit more depleted, a little bit more flattened out. Could just be a development thing. And then her quads and her hamstrings, although in good symmetry, are not showcasing as much muscle. So the muscle and the fullness is really, what a lot of competitors that end up doing true novice or any events, really, a lot of times you do get told, hey, you got to build a little bit more. You got to add a little bit more size, a little more density. She's still got a great overall shape, but that is the biggest notes that I would make, right? Not as much muscle here as Maddie or as Bethany in that lineup. And one other thing too, traps, right? So her traps do kind of pronounce themselves a bit here. I do see that on competitors that can deter from what's going on in your upper body, right? It can kind of take away from that look. So it's one of those things where if you got those traps going, you kind of want to make sure you're not letting your traps get too big in bikini. And a lot of times it's an activation thing. I have athletes that come train with me, they sign up and, they're like, hey, I got to figure this out. The traps are growing. I try to work my delts, but only my traps are growing. Well, it's an activation issue most of the time. Overactive traps taking over the load of doing your lateral raises, your shoulder presses, your front raises, stuff like that. And that's what kind of really hypertrophies those. For her though, still great look, overall good physique, but those are the biggest differences. Also, if you do want to train with me free for 7 days, this opportunity right here is going to go away. 7-day free coaching trial, teamfflex.com/7-day trial. You can put it in on your phone right now. 2 minutes. You could be talking to me, literally me, one-on-one in my training platform. This is a free experience I give back to the bodybuilding community. I give this back to, the world. I make my career here. I'm very happy to do it. And I'm very happy to help as many people as possible. This is going to go away because frankly, we're getting way too many of these, right? So we're going to phase this out. We're going to be working on some new things, but do not miss out on this. You get to train with me free for 7 days, same way that I train all of my clients, my competitors, Maddie in this video, right? You get to come in there, experience it. I give you training splits. I give you, workouts. I give you nutrition, posing help, feedback, assessment, whatever it is you need. I'm your coach, free for 7 days. You can ask me any question on the planet, and I'm happy to answer it for you as your coach, right? And that's, again, a free opportunity you get. Do not miss out. Type this in right now. You're going to want to get in on that, okay? Now, let's take a look over here from the back. Now, same three in this group. So we got Maddie here in the middle. She's the overall winner, my client, true novice winner, open winner. And then we have Bethany over here. We have Chia over here. And what we're going to look at now is obviously the next biggest thing that judges are really aiming for in this division, which is your back pose. Back pose, you want to show good symmetry, good shape from the shoulders, good taper in. And then really what you're looking at is, primarily a posterior chain. So glute development, hamstring development, what's going on there? How does it match? How does it create that hourglass look? So Maddie here, a very complete look. Again, she had the good glute fullness. Upper glute was totally developed and rounded out. We're pulling just soft tie-ins through, which is exactly what you want in this division. Slight separation between glute and hamstring tie-in. You can see her hamstrings here, and we can see just overall good shape and balance there. Very symmetrical, very filled out look. A lot of that comes from the way that we did her peak week too, where I'm working one-on-one daily assessments, trying to adjust the training, trying to adjust the nutrition to make sure we hit that perfect look of condition combined with, fullness, which is really key. Again, notes that I would work on in the future with her as we continue on with our plans, to climb the ranks, go to nationals, do other things. It's going to be some of that shoulder development here in the back. It can almost get a little bit overwhelming with her posterior chain. She's very developed there. Need to bring up her shoulders just a little bit more, and we're already working on that. We've already done that a lot since I've been working with her. But continuing to balance out that look more, continue to bring that through. And honestly, I'm still going to be working to add a little bit more of the glute development, a little bit more of the upper glute, overall pull that tie in through just a little more too, because as you advance in the ranks and you keep climbing the ladder, you have to kind of continue to level up the physique, and that happens at every level of this sport. Now, we look over here at Bethany, right? So she drew in here at second. So again, not getting as much from the shoulder, still has a great taper in, but she needs more of that shoulder fullness. Lower body-wise, we have pretty good shape going on here, but, her quads definitely showing a little more pronounced. Like I was saying in that front pose, we still do see that in the back. I do see a little bit of that quad heaviness here. That's oftentimes going to be a thing where maybe the quads are activating more than the glutes or the program. These things come up. Not saying that's the case here for her, but that is the case on other athletes that I would see that same type of, shape going on. That's going to be from that, where the quads may be overactive. She has good overdevelopment, pulls through that tie in just a little bit. Upper glute is there. Everything's there. She does showcase a little bit of a softer condition overall, and she does tend to have, you know, more of that kind of lower body dominant look compared to what's going on up top. So those are the biggest differences I see between her and Maddie there. Looking over here at Chia, you know, we can see that the shoulders, they're not showing a lot of shape from this angle, right? She still has good taper. Everything's there, very solid, you know, especially true novice bikini look that you're going to see. We can see good glute shape, tying coming through, hamstrings, upper glute, a little bit depleted. Overall, the shape's there, not as much muscle, right? So the fullness in bikini, really, really the play right now. And I'm seeing this play out. I mean, I've had some athletes on the leaner side that I've been putting on stage, and, you know, they're getting feedback, hey, soften up a bit. And, you know, I have some athletes that are coming in softer and fuller, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see what happens right here with this lineup today. And boom, they're winning the whole thing. So, you know, there is a big difference right now going on in this division where things are shifting, things are changing. All right, 2 more athletes I want to look at in this top 5 group with you here and just continue to exemplify. Keep in mind, we're looking at true novice. By the way, if you're enjoying this and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. A lot of my viewers are not subscribers, and I want to help you. I can help you a lot more if you subscribe, okay? So looking here at Carolyn now, so we can see that's 4th place, and here's 5th. We have Maryann, okay? Keep in mind, all true novice, all first-time compares. Congrats. Great job to everybody in this video. Let's take a look. So for Carolyn, we can see good overall shoulder shape here. We see a good taper in at the midsection. Lower body-wise, we got glute structure, quads, and hamstrings, everything here that, again, indicates bikini. Great job. The biggest difference for me, you know, her physique is less dramatic hourglass. It's more kind of up and down hourglass. So this comes from needing to create a little bit more shape, adding more fullness to the shoulders, more density to the glute, more of that upper glute, and, you know, adding more muscle, even lower body as well. Some posing tweaks may be involved, right? There are ways to angle your poses a little bit better, you know, so you can showcase more of a dramatic hourglass look versus one that is not as dramatic. The more dramatic of an hourglass shape you can create on stage, ladies, the better. It's going to help you place better every single time. I promise you that, okay? Now we look over here at Maryann. We can see she's got some good overall shoulder density. She's got a lot of muscle coming through in the midsection, pretty good muscle in the lower body as well. Her biggest thing here, I'm noting right away, definitely on the leaner side, right? We can see a lot of threads in the delts, a lot of separations in the midsection, even abs. We see some feathering going on here, a little bit of that quad, you know, not standing leg quad condition coming through. A lot of times when I see that, competitors are too lean. So she may actually be one of the ones, just like I was making in the analogy, where leaner might need to actually soften up a bit right now in bikini, because bikini's not going ultra shredded. It's going away from that. I think that was the biggest marker we saw with Maureen winning Olympia as well. But, you know, overall great physique. Her upper body does look a tad more dominant, you know, to me as well. Shoulders tend to be a little bit bigger, bicep, tricep maybe as well compared to what's going on in the lower body. So that symmetry and that balance, that is everything. That is what you need to focus on no matter what division you're doing. I mean, no matter what class you're doing, true novice, novice, bikini, open, all of it. You want to make sure you have that balance and symmetry. That is literally everything in this division. So now we take a look here from the back. So again, Carolyn here, good overall shape, tapers in, lower body. Again, just showcases, you know, that she needs more muscle. She needs more muscle structure. A lot of athletes in this class are going to need that. First timers many times are going to need to build more, right? And so that's the thing. She's got all the good shape, everything here, but, you know, building up the glutes some more, adding more upper glute, rebalancing the look. Her quads and her hamstrings look a bit more dominant than what the glutes are looking like here, and, you know, a little bit more of that shoulder shape as well. So that's how you take a physique that's looking maybe a little bit more up and down, and you make it very dramatic, right? Is you create a bigger width up top, a tighter taper in the midsection, and more development in the lower body. And that's, again, going to be your bikini look, okay? Looking over here now at Maryann for the last time, what we can see, you can't really see her delts here, but you know they're there. Pretty big, pretty developed, you know, for this division. Pulls down into good glute structure in the lower body, glutes, upper glute developed. It's filled out. We can see the tie-in. It's all coming together. She does showcase quite a bit leaner. And I do think her upper body is still a tad dominant compared to what's going on lower body. So that's probably how she lands in this spot. Honestly, maybe needing to soften up, maybe needing a little bit of rebalance. But overall, congratulations to all these ladies in this group. This is very awesome to see true novice, true novice first-time competitors. Exciting. It's sometimes the most exciting part of your competition career is getting on stage for the first time. So props to all these ladies. Congratulations. And, if you do need help, Do not miss out on this. Or if you just want to get a world-class coaching experience for free, even if you got a coach, whatever, people come that already have a coach. They come all the time. They learn things. They take it with them and they go on to do great. That's my goal here. I'm not trying to, you don't get auto charged for nothing. None of that happens. This is a totally free experience. Do not miss out. And let me know. Let me know what you think. You excited for the new direction of Bikini? Drop in the comments. Thanks for watching. Coach Ryan is out.